Good morning, GBA type people. This is Tom bringing you guys week 2 of the GBA. This week we faced off against the one and only Cleveland Escavaliers, headed and owned by NumbNexus. Now this week was certainly a match to remember. If you recall last season, we played the Escavaliers and we won due to a very haxy Kyurem-B sweep. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy that match, but I am saying that I would like a better match this time around. Now, before we get to see how good of a match this one is, let me first get you to the team breakdown. Now, this week I had broken down Nexus's team, same way I broke down Fizzy's team last week, in the same way that you'll be seeing it every week. But this week I looked and I saw that my number one threat that scared me the most was Bisharp. I obviously have two Intimidators, but both of them give Bisharp +1, after Defiant and whatnot. And yeah, I certainly had to prepare for what or how or when I could switch into a Bisharp. And not only that, I just had to just be aware that Iron Head and Sucker Punch and Knockoff can certainly do a hefty deal to my team, assuming Clefable's not around. Next two were his I would assume wall core that I thought he was going to bring this week. Slowbro and Rotom. Slowbro being defensive, as it was last season, and pretty much every game. And then Rotom being the Spadef variant, or even a Choice Scarf variant. And then finally Mega Sceptile. I was scared of Mega Sceptile because at first I thought that like Leaf Storm, Dragon Pulse, or even the Giga Drain could do a lot to Clefable, but then I realized that Mega Venusaur is pretty much a straight up check to Mega Sceptile. So I wasn't exactly worried, but I didn't want to see it necessarily because like I said, if Mega Venusaur or anything that I need to take certain hits is gone, then we kind of run into a small problem. Now those four I predicted him to bring, and then moving on to his mid-tier threats, being Jolteon, Mienshao, and Zygarde. Now these three I wasn't as concerned about, but I did figure I was going to see Jolteon and Mienshao. Now so those six I thought would round out his team. You have your setup or Defiant, OU, Bisharp, your Scarfed or Mienshao or Scarfed Rotom, defensive Slowbro, Specs Jolteon, and then your do whatever you do Mega Sceptile. Mega Zygarde, not Mega Zygarde, fuck. Zygarde I didn't expect to see, but I figured Clefable's a pretty good, hard counter to it. Kind of handles it rather well. And yeah, and I also have Arcanine. Even with it, I think Intimidate doesn't want to take those hits, but it can. And then of course I could Willow it as well. So the last, your bottom tier threats with Sideways Bird on there on the image you're seeing right now. You have Pangoro. Pangoro, yes, it's powerhouse. You have now it finally gets Knockoff and Drain Punch, so that's great, but it's just far too slow to bring against me, especially because I have Staraptor, and I think even Scarfed Pangoro gets outpaced. Yeah, it gets outpaced by even like a Banded Staraptor. So I didn't think he'd bring it, and I was certainly okay with him not bringing it. Next up, Aromatisse. Yes, it's a wall, but its move pool is so damn shallow, it's not even funny. And Moonblast, whatever, T-Bolt, Flamethrower is all just pretty much handled very nicely by Mega Venusaur, and then that thing dies like 2 Sludge Bombs. Next up, Escavalier. Escavalier is pretty much hard countered by Arcanine, and can't really do anything. Yeah, anything. We can go for Knockoff, or Drill Run, or Bulldoze, and that's not a thing. And then finally, Flaming Chicken. This thing was the best way to counter Mega Venusaur, but on the same token, I think half my team, or more than half my team, handles Moltres without a problem. So I didn't expect him to bring that. Like I said, I had his team pegged as Bisharp, Slowbro, Rotom, Mega Sceptile, Jolteon, and Mienshao. So, let's see if my prediction was correct. See you guys in a sec. So looking at team preview, it looks like I got 4 of the 6 mons correct. The only differences being Zygarde over Mega Sceptile and Aromatisse over Jolteon.
Now that's a huge relief to me because I'd rather see a setup sweeper like Mega Zygarde over Sceptile, and then I'd rather see something that's completely handled by Mega Venusaur for Jolteon. Now my team consists of Scarfs-Raptor, defensive Clefable, and defensive Arcanine, bulky sweeper, Mega Venusaur, Sashzam, and I think it's a sub 3 attack Kyurem-Black with leftovers. But I lead with my Scarfs-Raptor, but the way he brought Mianzhou in, I was just not to, assume he's not Scarfed, and that was probably for the better because I didn't want to lose Raptor, turn 1 with we just started the match. That'd be dumb. That'd be so dumb. So go into Arcanine, take literally 9 damage from the U-turn, and it goes out into Slowbro. Now here, a small thought went through my head. I was like, I can go right into Kyurem-Black right here, but I don't want him to go for some cheeky move that, especially Scald, because I don't want to go get the burn. So I switched right out into Clefable. And the match, or not Clefable, I switched into Venusaur. Is this dude what it's called? No, okay. Goes for Calm Mind, and this exchange here was not the way I expected the match to go. I was kind of coming to absorb a Skull, but that would have been stupid because then I had to go into Clefable anyway, and go for Heal Bell. My Clefable is carrying Heal Bell. But now I go into Clefable. And here goes Psyshock, and since this is unaware Clefable, I don't care about any of the stat raises, but he gets a crit. Now, the one thing I'll say about this match, early on, is that I don't think he was aware, he was unaware. See what I did there? Haha, haha. Alright, I'll go kill myself real quick. But I don't think he was aware that I, had unaware, and that maybe it was Magikarp. But then on the same token, he scalds me here, and unless I have Cute Charm, I'll take the burn damage in a sec. But unless I have Q-Charm, then at this point he should realize that I have Unaware over Magikarp. But at this point, my main objective is just to get Clefable up to about 75%, and then also clear away the burn, while the same token just going for Moonlight. Now, before I made this Clefable, believe it or not, soft-boiled Unaware Clefable actually goes through Bank. It just doesn't let you use it on Wi-Fi. So that sucked because that would have been kind of nice, but it doesn't work and it's illegal as shit. So, but I tried. Go for Moonlight, like I said, up 75%, and then I'll take the burn damage. But this upcoming turn, I go for Heal Bell. So he's already seen 3 of my moves. I'll see the 4th next turn when I go for Calm Mind. I think next turn we both go for Calm Mind, which is kind of a funny turn. Now, this turn was what confused me. Like, you already seen I taking burn damage, and unless I'm Cute Charm, which is just ridiculous, just absolutely ridiculous, that these stat changes mean nothing to me. And then, especially with the damage output that you're going to see this next turn, it kind of confirms that. I think right after he goes up, this next turn plays out, you'll see that for sure. So I go for Calm Mind, I outpace, but I figure this gets me to +2, and right here he goes for a Scald. It does damage. I think he was trying to go for the burn again to force me to Heal Bell, either for a free switch or just to potentially get, Psyshock or Scald, burn, crit, whatever, doesn't matter. But right here, I think is when he kind of comes to that realization that it's like, oh, okay, well, I think you're unaware, so I'm probably going to switch out. And I believe he does that right here. I believe, okay, I'm jumping turns. Motherfucker, it's late. I had a long day, police tests today. I go for Moonblast, and that does a lot of damage. And this Scald does no damage. So, as I've been saying now 4 times, Unaware Fable. Doing what I need to do. And then Moonblast is just doing more and more damage. And I think he's starting to realize that, because now he'll get the Regenerator, and, like I said, live to see another day. Goes into Aromatisse. Aromatisse is going to take a fair chunk of damage from this Moonblast. I somewhat expected to do a little more. I am a +2. But it is an Aromatisse, and assuming that Rotom-Wash is not defensive, this would be a special defensive wall. I go for 3rd Calm Mind, and he goes for Moonblast. And right here, what do we do? Okay, right here it goes for Wish. Okay. This, I think he was predicting here for me to go for another Moonblast, just to take him down to just about half. But I didn't do that because I figure even if he did it, if he did go for Moonblast, it will be better for me in the long run to get the special attack raises and even the SPDF raises, just to so I can not live hits, but of course live hits, but not sponge hits in a way that and then deal back more damage. He goes for Moonblast here, and as everyone kind of hopes with Moonblast is you're looking to get those special attack drops. Those are certainly very helpful. And the beginning of this match, if you guys couldn't tell already, is the Battle of the Pink Things, because I have Clefable out, and then he has the Sneaky Jew over there, the Aromatisse, and the Slowbro. I feel like if Nick watches this video, he's going to go back at me for that one. But he goes for Wish again. I think at this point it's just trying to see, basically just to try and get his Bisharp in for free, because obviously Bisharp with Iron Head is going to do a lot, if not all of the damage against my Clefable. But I overcome mine right here. This puts me +3, and it's very obvious that he's going to go for an attacking move because he has the Wish up, and he's not going to die unless I crit him with a Moonblast. But he goes for Moonblast here, and he gets a crit SPDF or special attack drop. So this puts me in a position where I absolutely have to go for Moonlight, and it puts him back up at full. And I guess also that Wish, if he had put it up and then switched out and to whatever, it could take the damage and then get the Wish, the healing. They can heal back up with a Wish. My God. But I go for Moonlight. Good play on his part. Protecting the Wish or the Moonlight, and then using that to his advantage to get Bisharp in for free without taking any of that Moonlight damage. Because I think at this point, Moonblast damage. Because at this point, I think he would just straight up die. But this is where I don't know how to calc, because I was calcing Jolly with no item, which I don't fucking understand Showdown why that's the case. But it wasn't. He's Adamant Life Orb, so instead of saying 65 to 70 whatever percent, it was all the percent. It was like 80 to like 96%, which is all of my percent, which means I'm dead. But that's okay. We will move on, because I think after my pink thing is dead, I can kind of get a little bit more offensive pressure on his team as a whole. Go on to Mega Venusaur, switches out into Zygarde. And Mega Venusaur, I just go right for Hidden Power. He didn't know what this was. If it was fire, this would have said not very effective. But that's okay that he didn't piece together yet what that HP value is. Going to Waffles, trusty Waffles, makes his valiant reappearance, I should say. Go for D-Dance. He goes for D-Dance. So right now it's just a +1 speed, obviously because of Intimidate. And right here, I think it was a small slip up on his end in terms of a moveset. So he goes for Earthquake, and holy fuck that damage. Now that was at -1 Life Orb. Now that was why. I mean, I'm so used to Lump sets that wouldn't have done that much damage. And I just go for the Will-O-Wisp, and at this point his Zygarde is crippled, unless he can get his Aromatisse in for free and then just go for Aromatherapy if he has it. I switch out at this point, and at this point, okay, this was a risky switch because he could have just as well went for Dragon Move, because Clefable's dead, so he has no reason not to. But he goes for D-Dance again, and so that puts him in +2 speed, +1 attack, but he's burned. So the reason I brought Staraptor is just in case I could dodge the Earthquake in case he went forward again. But if he had just locked himself in Outrage, then Staraptor I think would have been dead. Probably would have been dead. But he goes out into Rotom, and for being a Scarfed Reckless Brave Bird, this does a lot. Even though this thing is probably SPDF, that does a lot, and that was pretty satisfying to see that damage output from Staraptor, especially after last week where I just couldn't get anything going. Go back out into High Garden, and he goes for Volt Switch. Now, Ah man, Mega Venusaur this so far past 2 games has just been a Volt Switch absorber, just taking whatever. He goes into his Zygarde and he takes burn damage because of the Volt Switch switching. And I looked up right here if Orb Break acted like Mold Breaker, probably doesn't, so I wasn't worried. I don't know why I thought that, but I was just covering all my bases. Goes for Earthquake, and this does damage, but I'm getting that damage. I want to get that back. Giga Drain, because at this point, obviously, it's a KO regardless, and if it wasn't, then Burn is what knocks him out. Now at this point, he has 2 Mons weak to Grass, 1 Mon weak to Poison, and then 1 Mon weak to my primary, my kind of ace in the hole, which would be HP Fighting. That's what this set is. It's max HP, max attack, and 3 attacks with Synthesis. Max HP, right. Go for Giga Drain. Didn't think it would kill right there. To be completely honest, I thought it would be close, and then I thought he could just go for something else, but it was good enough. I guess I got a good enough roll just to get that straight up kill. Put me back up to full. Goes for Fake Out, goes for U-Turn. This confirms obviously that he is not Scarfed. So maybe he's Expert Belt, because we're not seeing any Life Orb damage. Maybe Muscle Band or Fist Plate. Blah, blah, blah. Either way, he switches into Javon, which Giga Drain does more than I liked than I expected. And then on here, of course, is where I pull out the whole ace in the hole, Hidden Power, Fighting, and I didn't think this thing would outspeed, especially because I thought this Bisharp would be a max speed, max attack variant, but it is not, and that is okay by me, because that means I knock it out, and this is almost looking like a Venusaur sweep. It's already taken out 3 things. Goes Fake Out, he's going to go for U-Turn again, I believe. If not, I think he just goes for Stone Edge. He misses this one. That's kind of the price you pay with Stone Edge. I was looking away from my DS at that point, because I write down my moves as I'm playing. Go Mega Drain, get all my HP back. You get that second Stone Edge off, and because Mega Venusaur is just so damn bulky, even that Earthquake and that Zygarde, yeah, I get it's burned, but it just takes such little damage. Go for Giga Drain, that notches up to Mega Venusaur's 4th kill, and at this point he only has 2 Mons left that pretty much just get bopped by Mega Venusaur, and unless he crits me and whatever's, special attack drops me, then I'm pretty sure this is going to be a 6-0 sweep by Mega Venusaur. The Get Unfortunate Poison there. Wasn't even trying to go for that. I knew that Sludge Bomb was easily a 2 KO. Roll between 82% and like 99%. But Moonblast, it looks like to be his only special attacking, or just a general attacking move. So, at this point, it's just looking, like I said, like a sweep by Mega Venusaur, which I didn't even plan on it being. I just thought Mega Venusaur would be there to just sponge those electric moves, those grass moves from Sceptile and Jolteon, and Dragon move from Sceptile. But it turned out to be just the thing that won me the match. I didn't even need Kyurem Black, but after I got rid of Mienshao, Kyurem Black was like my ace, was really just sitting in my back pocket in case anything very strange happened to Mega Venusaur right here. So that's it. 6-0. Well, it's a 6-0 sweep by Mega Venusaur, but it's not a 6-0 booty clap that one might expect. As a matter of fact, it's just a 6-0 booty, or it's a 5-0 booty smack. So, we'll take it for what it's worth. And yeah, so that puts the Sharpedos at +4 currently in the gold division. But more importantly, puts us in first place just for this week. But you know what? We dug ourselves out of that atrocious battle from last week, and I could see what Chris had mentioned if you watched his power rankings. I'm better when it comes to offensive teams, not defensive teams, and playing defensively around threats is not my forte versus playing very kind of push the pace. Don't let my opponent make the pace. If that makes any sense, yeah, that's where I'm going to end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and next week we take on Cooper, which it's funny enough that him and I are the current leaders in our respective divisions. So it'll be the Silver and Gold Conference leader of the division showdown next week. Hopefully not on Showdown, on Wi-Fi, and I'm looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. And if you have any things you want to say to me and talk about, leave it in the comments. I always respond. But with that, I will talk to you guys. Peace